Hey, welcome back to the farm. I'm at G Farms. We haven't had a chance to cut the hay yet, so I thought we'd go through and just see what's out here. Obviously, you look at it and you say, "Well, it looks like grass to me," but we'll get down to the details, and we'll see what types of grasses there are. There might be some other weeds out here. Gives us a chance to see if there's any problems that we need to take care of at a different time, like if we need to apply an herbicide for broadleaf or something like that. So yeah, get ready. We'll just try to document everything we can. So again, as we look out, we can obviously see that the hay field is mostly green, which means probably a lot of grass. But as we kind of just stare, I see some white and yellow and some different shades of green. And over here, I see dark tops of different grasses, and you get a little closer in details, you start seeing some broadleaf things and different weeds. So yeah, we're going to try to document several of these as we can and get a little deeper. What I plan to do today is use Google to do most of this cataloging. If you use the Google app itself, you can just use the picture button. Instead of typing in a search, there's a microphone button and there's a picture button. Use that picture button, take a picture, then go and see what it says. I'll try to use the common terms for whatever it comes up with instead of the Latin terms. I'm not a botanist, so we'll do the might we can today. So might as well start in right here. Okay, first up on the list, this grass with a brownish head to it. It's quite common as I look out and see that. Google calls it a rush, R-U-S-H. So it may be more of a weed than a grass. To me, it appears it's growing from the bottom. I don't see any leaves on it. You can see a bunch there. It mostly is a stalk. So probably not very valuable, probably hard to get rid of though. Okay, next one is this, pretty common throughout the field. Grasses are going to get kind of hard to identify, but not the most desirable one, I don't think. It's either some type of fog or a false oat grass, something like that. Maybe once we get into it a little bit more, I'll find a better answer, but pretty common out here. This one here might be Timothy. Pretty good grass to have in your field. A lot of times you can tell by the leaves, I guess, exactly what it is. These leaves are pretty far down in the weeds. but yeah, you can tell by the head. This looks like a lot like Timothy grass. Okay, I saw this guy. It's either a Rumex maybe, or there's something that looks like it called dock seed, which is kind of interesting. You know, you're looking through all these different things. A lot of them look very similar. So unless you're 100% absolutely sure, just be careful, because that dock seed, they acted like you could actually eat that. Where I doubt with the Rumex, maybe not so much. So don't see it a lot. I just noticed it. Another common weed I'm seeing quite a bit of is this one. It appears to be called Ironweed. It probably is undesirable, obviously, but it might be a need to use an herbicide. As I look out, I see it kind of all over the place. So something to consider using an herbicide for. I call this one a ground cherry. Either Virginia ground cherry or some other type of name off of that. See little spiky things, part of the nightshade family, like many other things are. It's probably why you recognize the leaves a little bit. Definitely kind of undesirable though. Probably a pretty common looking thing that most people see. It's just like a raspberry plant, and obviously it won't go anywhere as we'll cut it, but those are out here as well. This one should be fairly recognizable, not the best looking one, but we call those black-eyed Susans. They actually make a pretty plant for the yard. So we got, those are around, kind of nice. I'm calling these a mint, a mountain mint. I wonder if it smells. Yep, sure does. If you kind of take it and rub it, it does have a mint flavor to it. So yeah, it's a mint. I see that quite all around quite a bit. So pretty, not really wanted, but there it is. I have a clump of lemongrass here. Not real prevalent, but you do see it around quite a bit. It's pretty long sheaved. It's got some seed heads coming out from the middle. I had a little trouble identifying this one. It's either deer tongue or panic grass. So I might do a little bit more research on that one. It's actually quite a bit of it in different places that have been very wet. So that may help identify it later. So purple one should look pretty obvious. It's a clover. I think technically it's a red clover. Probably different types of clover, but those are pretty favorable. Got a couple different answers on this one. As always, if you know what it is, let me know in the comments. But it's either a Fleabane or a white aster. If you zoom in on the flowers themselves, they kind of look like a daisy. Of course, I won't let me zoom right now, but very pretty flower. But again, not really desirable for the field. Right below the Fleabane, or whatever it was this little plant. Looks like it's called a self-heal or heal-all. Kind of neat, kind of purple flowers here with this little pineapple shaped thing on there. So it's kind of neat with a name like self-heal or heal-all. I might look into that one a little bit more, see what it's about. Another purple flower caught my attention. I think it's called milkwort. At least there's several different varieties of it, but yeah, just a little purple flower, yellow in the middle there. It's pretty. Okay, one of the more common grasses is this one. I think it's called oat grass. Nothing wrong with it. So it probably forms the base of most of what's down there with the leaves and everything, and so you get the long stalk. So this is typical what you might see in a field of orchard grass or something like that. You got this versus your Timothy grasses right next to it. You can kind of see the different heads on those grasses and how those are different, but they form kind of bases like where I've been stepping. You see all the grass blades that will eventually make your hay. So that's the bulk of what's in the field, is these different types of grasses. Kind of another common weed I see around is looks like this. I think it's a trefoil, which sounds a lot like the Girl Scout cookies. So I'm sure that's not the same thing, but as you look around on the base of the grass, you see quite a bit of this along with the ironweed and some of that mint stuff. So another very common weed. I don't see this one out in the middle as much. This is getting kind of close to the edge. So maybe that's why it's here, but pretty recognizable goldenrod. Grows up pretty tall with those big bright yellow flowers at the end. Still a big flower, so I took a look at that. It's called Bindweed. It appears to be a vine that's wrapping around the grasses. And this one actually has a little worm in it. It's kind of neat. But yeah, I see a few of these, and it's kind of out in this lower area that's has been a little bit more wet. So it has a lot of that either deer's tongue or whatever we just determined that type of grass was. There's quite a bit of this type of grass looking stuff here. Kind of covers a lot. Might be a stilt grass. What came up in Google was Japanese stilt grass, but we'll just call it stilt grass for now. But yeah, it's quite thick around this little area here. Another fairly recognizable weed called Queen Anne's lace. Awful pretty, but not real desirable. I don't see a whole lot of it around, just little spots here and there. But yeah, what a big flower. I think the bees like it, so not a bad pollinator. Google's given me about 12 answers on this one, but it's probably an oat grass. If we haven't already seen that, kind of see the different head types that kind of just drop down. From here. So slightly different than what we've seen before with some of this lighter color type grass. It just kind of sprouts around versus like the Timothy that has the heads on top. So like I said, different types of grasses around. I already covered ironweed, but I did want to show you the flowers on the ironweed and what those look like. Pretty common weed to see in the field. This red weed caught my eye. Kind of pretty. It's called butterfly weed. Butterfly plant maybe, weed. But kind of towards the edge of the field. I don't see a lot of it around. That's kind of why the red caught my eye, but yeah, it's pretty. This plant here, pretty tall. I believe it to be a bulrush type plant. Looks a lot like a grass. So probably not hurting too much. Just kind of interesting. It had the kind of the older looking pod on top, but it has some green growth on top of there too. So kind of neat. Just to kind of show you what happens in a year since it's been cut last. This is walnut tree, so it's got quite a bit of height to it already. So be good to have out in the woods. Not so much in the hayfield, but yeah, good, quite big. It's getting hard to see green plants against green plants. But I did notice this one seemed to be a little thinner than normal. Appears to be a fennel. Maybe a dog fennel, but I don't know the different types of fennels there are. So yeah, just kind of barely stood out. So this one hiding down in the bottom. I think it's a yarrow. We'll go with that for now. I might have tried to show this one earlier as well, but this one plant's kind of sticking out on its own, so it kind of positively identified it as a dock. So I'll look that up a little bit more and get some history on that one. I do have part of the field that is kind of low on the grass because we had some creek water that overflowed, and this came up. I think it's a argentum plant. Pretty to something else that's been able to come up where the flood waters kind of knocked down the grass, and had some activity back here is a bee balm. So I do know that we planted some of this in our backyard one time, and it truly did attract the bees. So it was much higher though, so this must be a wild variety of it. Okay guys, I think we're gonna call it quits for today. As I was walking around the field, everything kept repeating itself, so I think we captured pretty much everything there is to capture. Again, most of it's grass, which is good for hay. I did notice several things I don't really want in there. Some of it doesn't matter so much, but May next year, think about doing a general herbicide to take care of some of the broadleaf things so that the grasses can get even thicker. Maybe some fertilizer too. Maybe we can get some second cut. This year has been just rain. It's been the hallmark of 2025. Started out early or late March, about 7 inches one day, and then every 3 or 4 days later it seems to rain a little bit more. So we'll get the hay cut though, and the field look nice, and we'll see what comes up after that. Hey, I appreciate you guys watching. I hope this was some useful information about how to go about looking at the different weeds in your pasture and knowing if you need to do anything about it. If you'd like to keep up with what we're doing out here, feel free to subscribe. I would appreciate that. It helps out with how we go about doing these videos. So I do thank you a bunch. Or if you see a plant that I got wrong, please feel free to comment. I'll try to answer you in the comments as quickly as I can. Hey, thanks a bunch for watching McG Farms, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.